everybody, Tina here with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and I'm going to be making a card today for you guys. I'm actually doing a challenge. It is the name just left me. I'll pop it up on the screen. It is the Craft Central, I think, maybe, challenge. I'm trying to get out and do more of these challenges, just because especially card challenges really help me to come out of my comfort zone with making cards, because making cards doesn't come natural to me. So to have a sketch that just I can follow really helps me. So I'm going to be using this stamp set right here. This is the Happy Watercolor stamp set. So let's just get started. I am starting with a Whisper White piece of cardstock, and I've just cut that in half, and then I'm folding it so it's giving me a 5.5 by 4.25 size card. So there's this piece, and then my colors are going to be Pool Party, Bermuda Bay, and Daffodil Delight. And what I did is I just went right on my website, up at the top of this page, it says Stampin Up Projects, and if you drop that menu down, it says Stampin Up Color Combinations, and if you click on that, it goes right to my Pinterest board that I have a bunch of color combinations for Stampin' Up pens, and I went on there and I found this color combination. So I'll pop a photo right here. I'll pop a photo in of the sketch so you can see the sketch, and then it's also on my coordinating blog post. And then that's the sketch that I was following, and then I just got the color combination as well. So this is my first layer, and it is Pool Party. It's a little difficult to see because of my lighting in here, you guys. I'm still playing around with my lighting and trying to get it where it works a little bit better. So this layer is, I believe it's 4.25. I have to grab my ruler, and somehow in my move I managed to lose my little tiny ruler that I use all the time. So now I just have this great big giant one. So this first layer is 4.25 by 3.5. And I'm just going to layer that right in the center. I'm just using my snail adhesive. And let's zoom in a little bit, and that might help with the lighting issues. So this piece is going to go right in the middle. I'm just eyeballing it and sticking that right down in the middle. This next piece is a Bermuda Bay piece, and it is 3.25 by 4, and we're going to put it down this way, long ways. Still, lighting's not great, sorry guys. Maybe that will help. So a little bit of snail on that, and that's going right in the middle. And then I have this yellow piece. This is from our designer series stacks, which are amazing. You get all the different colors, and you get it in polka dots and chevrons, and it just gives you a really good variety. So I just pulled out a piece of Daffodil Delight, and I'm using my border punch, and I'm giving this a border. So I start at the end, so I start at the edge, and then I work my way down. So what I've done is I've just punched 3 of that, and then I'm just going to line it up. I know some people start in the middle and then they work their way on either side. That doesn't really work for me. So I just punch it at the end, and then I can just work my way down, and I just keep lining that punch up and punching. It's probably enough, but I'll do one more. So now I have my piece punched, and then I'm just gonna run some adhesive along this piece, and then I'm gonna use my mat and line this end up. I'm leaving a little bit of that Pool Party, and it looks like it's gonna line up perfectly with this line right here. So I'll come to the edge, I'll line that up, and then I'll run it all the way across to that. edge. That went on crooked somehow. I managed to get that crooked. Okay, so then I'll just flip it over, snip this part. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of this Bermuda Bay ribbon. Okay, so now that I've tied this bow, because there's no adhesive on it, what I can do is I can just move it around, and you can see that it's up closer to the top of the yellow piece. And then what I'm gonna do, I always like to do this, I just take a glue dot and I put it right under the knot of the bow. And that holds it in place. It holds that ribbon in place better and makes that bow look flatter. And then I can kind of play around with that bow and get it to how I like it, okay? So now we're gonna do some stamping. I'm gonna set this part aside. And I have this oval. This is the 4th oval in my framelit set. So what I'm gonna do is I need a piece of scratch paper under this, and so I just have a piece of grid paper. We're gonna set that aside, and then I'm using Bermuda Bay, Daffodil Delight, and Pool Party, and I'm setting those all up top here. I'm doing the yellow in the middle, and then I'm taking this stamp, which is this watercolor stamp right here, and I'm gonna start out with Bermuda Bay. I'm inking that stamp up, and then I am stamping off one time over here, and then I'm stamping onto my oval. Then I'm gonna clean my stamp because I'm using the same stamp in a different color, so I'm using my Stampin' Scrub, and I am cleaning that really well. I've already accidentally put in my Daffodil Delight, I've stamped with blue in it. I didn't get my stamp really clean, so that's a bummer. So now I'm gonna do the Daffodil Delight, and what I'm doing is I'm going to turn the stamp so that this part of it is facing different, and I'm going to overlap those a little bit. I didn't stamp off with my yellow because it's a lighter color, so I didn't stamp off. So then I cleaned my stamp again. I'm gonna turn my stamp one more time. I'm going to go into my Pool Party ink. I'm inking that up, stamping off of it, and then stamping onto my white. My Whisper White piece, and then I'm cleaning my stamp. So the next thing I'm gonna do is close all these up. I'm grabbing my StazOn ink, and I'm taking this flower. I'm gonna ink it up, and I'm gonna do a little test because I just re-inked my StazOn ink pad, and it's pretty wet. So I'm just stamping a couple times onto my scratch paper just to get a feel of how wet my ink is. And then I'm going to stamp right in the middle of this oval. Just like that. You can see this part of the stamp didn't stamp well. I didn't have even pressure, and I'm just gonna be okay with that because I don't want to re-stamp all of those items. I'm just gonna be okay with that, and it doesn't look too bad because it's a watercolored piece anyways, so I can get away with it. So now this is going to go right down, and I'm gonna center it right on that piece. I'm gonna use dimensionals on this piece. I'm gonna go ahead and do 5. This oval's fairly large, so I want one right in the middle there where it's not going to then droop. Oh, I guess I'll do just like that. And then I had wanted to put this sentiment, this thank you sentiment, but I'm not really sure where I would put it on the outside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stamp it on the inside. So I can open that up. And stamp, thank you. So there's my card for the challenge. You can go right over to my website by clicking right on the top of this video, and you can see the photo for this, and then you can also see the sketch and the link to the blog where you can follow along with the sketch too. So thanks guys so much for coming by and checking out my card. I'll be back tomorrow with an all new Love and Life scrapbooking post. I hope that you guys have been over to my website and have heard the really exciting news that Becky Higgins has partnered with Stampin' Up. So we now have a partnership with Becky Higgins, and Project Life has come to Stampin' Up. So I am really, really excited. You can head to my website and see all of the details about that, and then I'll be back tomorrow with an all new Love and Life post, and I'll be talking about title cards tomorrow. So thanks guys for coming by, and I will talk to you later.